We're nearing the end of the second week of this campaign, and both sides are saying it is a very tight contest. In fact, senior Labor figures are saying privately that things have tightened up a lot since the start of the campaign. They're particularly worried about Western Sydney, where things are very tough for them, but also Queensland, where they're saying things are very volatile. Seats that were looking okay now aren't. Seats that weren't looking okay now are. Things are very fluid in Queensland. Labor's a bit more confident though in the West and also in South Australia, Victoria, Tasmania. So it is a tight contest. Labor is also still a bit bruised from what's been the big story of the week so far, the leak out of Cabinet that Gillard was resisting, the paid parental leave scheme and the boost in the pension. There's still a lot of guessing going on as to who leaked this. No one really knows for sure, except for the leaker and for the journalists who received the leak. But some are suspecting that it was Kevin Rudd. Julia Gillard was questioned more about that today. She's still dancing around the whole concept of Kevin Rudd, whether she's going to be seen with him, campaign with him, or do anything with him, other than saying if they're re-elected, he'll have a senior post. Her focus today was on disabilities, and this was a good announcement. The $12,000 for kids under the age of 6 to help them with kids with specific disabilities. Very hard to criticise that sort of funding, and also the extra support for older kids with disabilities as well. I guess cynics would say, why does it have to take an election campaign to deliver these sorts of things? Both sides also focusing on law and order today, making this a bit of a federal issue. The government announcing weapons that are going to be banned from importation. The coalition saying, well, most of them already are banned from importation. And Tony Abbott going further and saying he's going to fund $179 million for a national anti-gang squad, a task force to tackle gang-related crime. Both have made these announcements in Melbourne today, a bit of a crime capital, Melbourne, in recent years, so they're picking up on the fact that voters there are very uneasy about street crime, knife crime in particular, and they're wanting to turn what's usually a state issue, the old law and order auction at state elections, into a bit of a federal issue today as well.